Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make the Flower Bloom Rainbow Loom Bracelet. It's an advanced pattern and you do need a lot of rubber bands. It's kind of time consuming putting on all the bands, so I started this one off. It's very simple, don't worry. It's very simple to place this layer. We're going to have 3 layers of rubber bands. And I'm actually at the end of my loom. I'm on my last one. So I'm going to show you. You're just making little hexagons. You do here and then go up the side. So just like this, and you do the other side to the middle. So you start from your middle peg and you go to the left and up, then to the middle. And just like that, then you do the same thing but on the other side. And I'm sorry I didn't show you the rest of it. I had some technical difficulties and I did not feel like ripping all these off and starting over. So then you just do the other side and it looks like this. So I started here, then I put a rubber band here, and another one here, and then the middle, and I did the same thing on the other side. And you just do that all the way from the bottom to the top. So you're going to need, your rubber bands, your hook, and your SRC clip. So the next part I'm going to do is just basically doing a starburst. It's the middle part. And the bracelet, when you're done with it, is going to look like this. It's very pretty. The original Rainbow Loom version only has 3, but I decided to make my own and do 6. Not much of a difference there, but it's bigger, so. So for this part, you're just going to be doing, I'm going to do sunflowers, so mine's going to look, it's going to do black in the middle. You start from your middle peg, and it's just the same way you place the rubber bands for Starburst. So just go clockwise order. So from this peg to this peg to this peg to this peg to this peg. If you know how to do a starburst, then this part should be no problem for you. And the next part is very easy. It's just looping everything together. That's the hardest part. And that's how it should look. And if you want to do it now, place a capping band. If you don't know what that is. Can't see all these different color. Rubber band, figure 8. Make it so that it's doubled. And then you're going to take the capping band and, like a starburst, place it right in the middle. That's going to hold everything together. So then do the same thing in each of your little hexagons. And remember, go in clockwise order, otherwise it's going to get all twisted and not going to be good. That's what it should start to look like, just like a starburst but with a different border. And I'm just going to place my capping bands on at the end, that way I just get everything on here. Okay, I'm almost at the end. Like I said before, this has 3 layers of rubber bands, so try to push them down without getting them out of order. Okay, on my last one. And this one looks pretty with any colors, you know. I'm choosing to make mine look like sunflowers because I just thought that would be a good idea. Sunflowers are really pretty. Okay, once we get to the end, we're going to put a cat band right here. Actually, yes, we do a cat band right at the end. I'm just going to use green since I have one left. Okay, now just do cat bands in the middle of all your little starbursts. I recommend doing the same color so it doesn't kind of stand out, because you will be able to see a little part of it, but if you're doing black and yellow like me, you probably will be able to see it. So see, that's what it should look like. This one, if you have two looms, you can do it and make it longer, but it actually comes out pretty long on one loom, and I have a really small chain, but yeah, I only have one loom, so okay. So now just push the rubber bands down and try to keep them in order. Okay, now we're on our last layer of rubber bands, and after this we can start looping. So now we're going to do the outside kind of petal color. And basically all you're doing is you're doing the same thing you started with, like the border. Go from the middle peg to the left, up to the middle, do the same thing. So, middle peg, push them down because they will try to slip off. So it should look like. And do the other side. I'm using a gold color, I think. This isn't regular yellow, it's gold. And not sparkly or anything, so just like that. And then do the same thing on all your little hexagons. And on this peg, there is going to be a lot of rubber bands, so just take caution of that when it comes time for looping everything together. And remember, you do one side and then you do the other. Don't go in clockwise order or anything like that. Okay, here's the second one. This is probably the easier band placement on this bracelet. When I was making mine earlier, one of my orange ones snapped, and I was so worried that it was going to fall apart, but it didn't. So this is one of the bracelets that you can adjust the sides with and everything, so when you tighten it, it doesn't really affect it. You just kind of pull it out and make it how you want it to look. Ooh, I fell asleep. Okay, we're getting near the top, and after this, that one's broken, we can start to loop. And the looping is a little tricky. There's two parts to it, so you might have to watch it over again or pause in the middle. I'm not going to go as fast as I am with all this because I had to watch the video a few times. And this is not my original pattern. I got this from the Rainbow Loom channel. Ooh. My mistake, don't put this end cap band on yet. Take that off. We're going to put that on at the end when we're done putting our last layer on. I'm sorry. Okay. So now when you're done, it should look like this. And now you put your cap and band on. Okay. So flip your loom around, and the first thing we're going to do is, let me decide how I want to do this. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start in the middle, and I'm going to get my black rubber band. Actually, no, we're not going to start that way. We're going to start with the border. Yeah. Okay. We're going to go underneath all these rubber bands, underneath the cap band. Oh, I'm sorry, my mistake again. We do want to start with the middle. Okay. So start with your middle, and then go underneath the middle capping band and get your first rubber band. Should be whatever color you're using. Hold it down, and then pull it backwards. Ooh. Okay. We'll pull it back onto itself. So kind of the opposite of a starburst, but it's going to turn out the same, and mine just came off. Okay, so go underneath the middle cap band, find your first rubber band, pull it underneath, and then pull it back onto itself, just like that. Okay, then just go in order and do your next color. And just like a starburst, we're just going to be pulling it back on themselves. Okay, that's what it should look like. Then you're just going to do the same thing on the next one. Go underneath the middle capping band, hold that cap band down, and then pull it back. And just go in order like a starburst. If you need to, watch my starburst tutorial first. That way you can kind of understand what I mean when I say that. It'll make this bracelet a lot easier for you, because it's very similar to a starburst. That's what it should look like. So start in the middle, go, my cap band came off. It's easier if you hold the cap band. I chose not to, I don't know why. Okay, go underneath the cap band, kind of push it up on your hook so they don't get confused. Pull it back, and just go in order. And if you placed your bands right, they should just pop up in, the order that you put them in. Like that. So I'm just going to keep going. The cat bands keep coming off. Rewind the video if you have to, or like I said, watch the Starburst one first, because that will make it a lot easier. This is similar to Starburst, but with a different border and an extra layer of rubber bands. Sorry about my mistakes in this video, guys. It's kind of a frustrating pattern, but I promise you will get the hang of it. Your cat bands ever stay on, which mine are not, so. And the last layer of rubber bands that we put on, I'm going to say this now, we actually don't do anything with that. We're just going to leave that because it's going to be the loose part, like the flowery petals. So we don't have to do anything with that. So that makes it, pretty simple. And this does take a little bit of time, you have to be patient. And my last one, finally. Once you get your first one done, the cat band should stay on. But if not, just kind of keep your thumb there in case it starts to move or anything. Okay, now we're done with the middle. So our last step is to do our border, which is going to be my green, which is the first layer that we put on. Okay, so the first step is to go back to your end, and we're going to go all the way underneath these rubber bands and find our first green, or your first color. Be careful when you pull it because they will break, and pull it onto itself, just like a regular border. Just like that. And you should have a little teardrop or raindrop shape. So then you're just going to go to the next one, go underneath all the rubber bands, pull your last one up, and be very careful because there are a lot of rubber bands and they will break. That's what happened to me. That. And then do the same thing on the other side. Then do it one more time, and this one should be going towards the middle now. Okay. And this is the trickiest part of the bracelet. Just like that. Okay, so now, this part's pretty tricky. You have to go down underneath all these rubber bands and find your first green and bring it to the side. And be very careful because they will break. Like I've been saying, I just want to put that out there. You're just doing the same thing, but it's a little tougher. Okay. Just like that. These two rubber bands. Okay. And then from here, it's, easy. Go down. The hardest part is just that middle peg with all the rubber bands on it. But you don't do anything different, you just do the same step. Okay. Now I'm at the tricky part again. So here we go. Down underneath all those rubber bands, and make sure you grab the right one because there are 2 other rubber bands crossing right there. And if you pull the wrong one, it's not fun to have to undo it. Once you get the first one, it's pretty easy to find the second one. And just smooth sailing from there. You've done everything right, it should be smooth sailing. And this is an advanced pattern, so I would watch a few more tutorials on other ones first, especially the Starburst, because it is, oh no, I missed a layer. Well, now I have to go backwards. I got so excited, and now I have to go backwards. So, I made another mistake. Great. This has never happened before. I apologize. Dearly, I apologize. So now I just have to go backwards with all my rubber bands. Not cool. But going backwards really isn't that hard. Just kind of place the rubber band on the top like that. It's okay if this happens. It's really understandable. Putting them back on is not a big deal. Just lesson learned, pay attention. Oops, I think I grabbed the wrong one yet. I'm sorry that I'm making all these mistakes. Please just keep the negative comments off my video. I don't really appreciate them very much. I've been good with them so far, haven't had any, and I would like to keep it that way. Okay, problem solved. We are all set. And now we're almost on to the next one. Easy fix. The worst thing that can happen is that a rubber band snaps when you're on the tricky part right there. But that happened once, and it was a pretty easy fix. As long as you just remember where everything is. Okay, now we're all set. Down to the bottom. Find my first rubber band, and I have a feeling grab the wrong one again. If it helps, turn your head to the side and look so you can see where your hook is. Yep, I got it this time. And the rubber band right here will be very tight, so please be careful. That's the one caution. Please be careful. And my last one. And I'll also show you how to do the extension or the chain for this. This time I'm going to show you how to do it on Loom. I usually don't, but I will this time because, well, it's good to know both ways. Okay, so this is what it should look like when you're done. So the next step, however you finish your bracelets, I take one rubber band, black, and I'm going to go through the last little channel. So it kind of looks like this. You can see it. And then push the rubber band down a little bit so there's a loop. Put your hook in, pull it under. Oops. See what can happen. You don't have to do it this way. You can do it however you normally finish all your bracelets. This is just how I do it. Okay. And just pull it through and make a slip knot. And now we're ready to take it off. I recommend doing this part with the hook. As you're taking it off, you should be able to start to see a little flower that forms. And once again, I want to apologize for all of the mistakes I made. It's a new pattern to me, and I was really excited to show you guys. So please keep negative comments off of my video. If you have them, just keep them to yourself. I really appreciate it. I don't like negative comments. I do this for fun, so. Be careful when you do this because some of the rubber bands, they'll snap if you pull them too hard. This is why I do like this specific bracelet with the hook. Okay. So now it's all done. Mistakes and everything. Pull it, adjust it however you want. Play with it, whatever. It comes out pretty even usually, but, pull them to the sides, make them bigger, smaller, whatever you want. Cool. So now I'm going to show you how to do the extension. You can start either from the end that you put your slip knot, or you can do the capping band side. I'm going to do the cap band side. So just pull that cap band and put it on your hook or something. And I'm going to do yellow for this one. So it'll look really pretty. And it just depends on how big your wrist is, or whoever you're making it for. So take your loom and just do a simple chain. Just place them like this. Okay. Then you're going to take your cap band and you're going to stretch it from where you left off, from that pin to the one above it. Like this. And then you're just going to hook it like a regular bracelet. Just like this. Then this last part, take your last loop and extend it to a pin above it, and it creates a little space so you can hook on your clip. I'm going to use an S-clip and just hook it in through that little space. Then take it off and hook it to the little loop under your little slip knot, but make sure it doesn't come off the bracelet because then everything's going to fall apart. And just attach your S-clip to the other side, S or C clip. Okay, and it's complete. This was the Rainbow Bloom bracelet. Not my original pattern. Found it on the Rainbow Loom channel. No negative comments. Please subscribe and keep watching. I'm going to have more videos. Thank you.